first time I ever heard of garden egg sauce was like 3 years ago. And for a second, I was trying to imagine what the taste will be like. And the person who introduced me was like, it's so nice, it's a delicious sauce. You can pair it with yam, you can pair it with rice, you can even pair it with pasta, depending on how you want it. And I was like, okay, there's no problem. Let's give it a try. Share the recipe with me. And she gave me recipe and I decided to try it. And guys, this thing is heavenly. I mean, it came out so well, so beautiful. So today, I will be sharing with you how to make this beautiful garden egg sauce that you can pair with rice, yam, or pasta. Let's get right into the video. Over here are the list of the ingredients that I will be using for this recipe. I have the garden egg, which is like the chief executive officer of this meeting. It is the major ingredient for this recipe. Then I have some roasted fish that has been cleaned and deboned. I have blended crayfish. I have some chopped onions. Then I also have my spice. My spice is a combination of salt, some ginger powder, garlic powder, and then stock cube. Then I have my pepper mix, which is a combination of peppers, tomatoes, onions that has been roughly blended. I will also be using some sliced spring onion for this recipe. I just love the color, I like the blend of the tomato color and then the color from the spring onion. I just like that green combination, that green color combination. I just want to be seeing it inside the food. Then over here I have the palm oil that I will be using for this recipe. And then of course the new yam that I will be pairing with this garden egg sauce. It's my first time eating new yam this year and I decided to pair it with garden egg sauce. So this yam has been peeled, cleaned, and just left inside the water. The reason I left it inside the water is because I don't want the yam to change color. You know this new yam, you can't trust it. It has a way of disgracing somebody. All ingredients are ready. It's time to cook. Over here, I placed the pot on the fire and I just sliced my garden egg into two halves, placed inside the pot, and then I added a little bit of salt and water. I'm going to cover this pot now and allow this garden egg to boil until it is soft. Then I will come back and then check on it. The garden egg has been boiling for like 5 to 7 minutes now. So I'm just checking on it, and as you can see, I dipped my fork and it came out so soft. So it's time to move to the next level. So at this point, I was just packing the garden egg from the hot water and one decided to fall. You know this life, you're trying to help somebody and that person does not want to be helped. Well, what can I say? So I just packed the garden egg from inside the water and I will be pounding it in my mortar. On the other side, I'm just putting the yam on the fire and then adding water and then a little bit of salt. At this point, I noticed that the water was not enough, so I added a little more water. So I will be covering the pot with the lid now and then I'll be back much later to check up on this. I just turned on my cooker now to start preparing the sauce. See, I was trying to adjust my camera at some point and it was not even funny at all. See, I celebrate people that create content. It's not easy, oh. So as you can see, the pan is already hot and then I just poured in the oil inside and then I'm just stirring it so that everything can melt and then we can just continue cooking. At this point, I added my chopped onions and I will just stir it and just allow it to fry a bit before I will come in with my blended pepper mix. I'll be going in now with my pepper mix, and I will just stir it in, just stir it into the oil and allow to fry. And I'll be back after some times to check up on it again. This sauce has been frying down for like 5 minutes, and I just added my spice. Like I said earlier during the introduction, my spice is a combination of ginger powder, garlic powder, some salt, and some stock cube. I'm using no for this recipe, so I'm just going to stir it in, just stir it in, ensure that everything is well combined. And after stirring it in properly, I also tested at this point to ensure that everything is going on well. If you look closely, you'll notice that my oil is beginning to come up, and also my pepper mix is beginning to come together so nice and beautiful. This is one of the ways for you to know that your pepper mix is fried, properly fried, and also that sour taste that it normally has as a result of the tomatoes. If you test at this point, you will notice that that sour taste is no longer there, or that it has reduced drastically. Until it is no longer there, your pepper mix is not properly cooked here. So you have to keep frying, you have to just let it sit on the fire for a while. Just look at this, just look at how everything is bubbling, coming out so nicely. Don't you just like it? So at this point, I added my blended crayfish powder. I love crayfish, but I don't like to see crayfish in my food. Oh yes. I love crayfish, so I love the taste of crayfish, but I don't want to see it, like I don't want the sight of it in my food. So I always blend my crayfish every time I want to use it in a recipe. So I just stirred in the crayfish now, and everything is coming in so well. Then at this point, I added my roasted fish, and I'm just going to stir it in. This roasted fish is optional, shall. If you don't want, you can just let it, or probably use another protein that you feel is more comfortable for you. So I'm just stirring this in now to just properly combine, so that the sauce and the roasted fish you know, can enjoy a sweet fellowship, a sweet relationship that will bet something very, very beautiful. And then finally, the chief executive officer is here. I just added my garden egg, my pounded garden egg, and just look at this. Oh my god, the color is and not just the color, the aroma at this point was something else. My kitchen was bubbling. I just poured it in, and I'm just stirring it, and my god, the color is beautiful. I remember when I was in secondary school, my food and nutrition teacher then used to tell us, I did food and nuts. My food and nutrition teacher then used to tell us that the eyes actually eats before the mouth. And over time, that thing has stuck with me. No matter how delicious a person presents a food for me, if that food does not have a nice look, my brethren and sistren, I am not going to taste that food. Oh. I just believe that a nice food or a nice prepared meal should also have a very beautiful and radiant color. Well, that is the end of my story. I just poured in my spring onion now, and this green color is popping. Because what is this? Just look at the radiant color and everything that this thing is bringing out. Oh, God. Ah, good food is good though. Good food is good though. I cannot say more than this one again because it's like I'm short of words. But this thing was just giving. Like it was giving everything. It was giving color. It was giving beauty. It was giving niceness. It was giving everything. And it tasted so nice. This is the first time my husband is tasting this thing, and he was like, wow. In fact, I had chatted him up earlier and told him that, babe, I boiled yam and garden egg sauce, and he was like, garden egg what? So I knew that this thing is not going to work. I started making another alternative. But when he came back and tasted this thing, oh my God. The rest, they say is history. They say it's history. I can't say more than that again. So on the side, I was actually boiling some yam, like I showed you people earlier. And I came back here to check up on the yam, and the yam is done. So it's time to eat, which is like the most beautiful time of this thing. After work, person go chop na abi. So here, I just served it. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. And I'm just putting it together inside the plate. And it's time to just eat, like just enjoy yourself, man. After working, you go just chop and just rest and all those things. And this thing is, oh God, is giving. Auntie Mary, thank you so much for introducing me to garden egg sauce and for introducing me to this very beautiful recipe. I really appreciate. I hope you get to see this video. So at this point, guys, I don't know what happened. I said, let me carry fork and taste this food that I cooked. But the fork, I don't understand. The thing was refusing to carry the sauce. I was like, carry this sauce, carry this sauce, carry this sauce. Let me taste it. But the fork was misbehaving. But I won't even lie. At the end of the day, off camera, I use my hand to eat this thing because this food is not something that fork will now come and be wasting your time. I don't have that time. So, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.